Greetings, Shelpers. Thank you for joining me for more Beatdown City Survivors. I really wanted to show you more than just the first level because I got through it all. Everything I do from this time forward will be with this character because they float over the different like goo on the floor, like the blood or the acid or whatever. And I really need that kind of thing. Even though there are 3 decay levels and you're like, oh, I can just go to the hardest eventually and they unlock, you have to do every decay level to get through the game. So if you don't remember, this town was kind of overrun by a corrupt person at the same time a zombie outbreak happened. So now the cops are corrupt, the mayor is corrupt, and of course there are zombies running around. So the second level is the subway. And the subway is dark. There are trains that actually come and ram into you. So it gets a little tough because it's a little more hard to navigate for me, but still a good level, solid level. I will take I really want to take the Kevlar vest. It'll help protect me, even though I am like really far along in what I can do because of all the upgrades. I hope you all are having a marvelous weekend. I did not end up going out to the grocery store. That is a very long story that I probably will not get into here. I will probably complain about it on the State of Decay stream, which will be on Tuesday. I am streaming Tuesday and Thursday this week. It will be State of Decay on Tuesday, and Thursday, of course, will be more vampire crawlers. Okay, we're gonna take the knife because we need more than just our punching and kicking, especially. Aha! Yep, almost died because of that. I thought I was just right outside that line. I was not. Dang nabbit. It's fine, it's fine. I haven't unlocked everybody or everything yet, but most everything. I don't really need to worry about unlocking people because win, lose, or draw, I'm not going to be using anybody else in this game, so. Yeah, see how I can float over the oil, but my friend can't? Let's hope I didn't just leave my friend to the pain of the subway car. It didn't look like it. Okay. He was behind me, so I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, you can go up on the subway platforms and get money out of the telephone booths or the... I guess they'd be like places where you buy your tickets, not telephone booths. Oh my god, I'm showing my age here. We had a payphone in, let me start that over. In high school, we had a payphone in the place near the office. That's how old I am. There we go. Wasn't that a better sentence? There we go. So good. But yeah, I love this game. Apparently, the developer tries to put beat 'em ups into different genres or mix them into different genres that aren't normally found with beat 'em ups. Like, apparently one was a turn-based beat 'em up or something. So that's kind of interesting or intriguing to me. I won't play it though, obviously, but... No thank you, get away from me. But yeah, I do love this game still. I've been playing Halls of Torment. That game gets really hard. This one like started off hard, but once you start gaining momentum for what your upgrades are, it's not quite as bad. Although sometimes you just get a soft block until you know, gain enough upgrades in order to surpass. But the Halls of Torment, I think I'm stuck on like the harder mode of level 3 only. Yeah, and it's been a lot, so. But it's still a fun game too. I should show you that someday. It's another top down though. I bet y'all are like tired of me doing top downs, like Toluca, for God's sake. But that'll be fine. But yeah, now that I have an upgrade, I do have like the items on the map I can go find. Before you couldn't find just loose items on the map, which is fine. You need every upgrade you can get in this damn game though as time goes on, let me tell you. Ooh, a new person to rescue. Each person has their own requirements, like they have to be rescued so many times, they have to kill so many things on their own, they have to put out their special attacks X amount of times. You know how it is. So I'll just carry them with me because I don't know what they need me to do actually. I might have actually opened up some of these critter didders for use, but I'm never gonna know, because you know me, when I find a character in a lot of games that I like, I just stick with them. So tomorrow, Husby and I are having the date where we watch the Sheep Detectives movie, and we are going to be playing the bookstore game that I played once on stream, because the bookstore game goes into 1.0 tomorrow, and it adds multiplayer as well as a whole new store, and I'm hoping it's a gigantic store. And they said somewhere in Europe. I don't know if it's gonna be, you know, another store in like France. I hope not, because they already have two in France. Maybe, you know, Italy or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, almost killed myself there. I do have a revive this far into the game, so that would be good at least, but still, I'm, you know, hoping to not make a fool out of myself entirely. But yeah, I can't wait to see the new store. They also have like new items, like they added magazines, I believe, to the game, so I'm looking forward to that a lot. I really like the game. I would have played like a full playthrough, but it would have got really boring. I don't think I'm the kind of person that can just do simulation games. Even though I tend to incessantly chatter, I don't think that would be something a lot of people would be looking forward to, so. But I like to show them off anyway, at least the ones I'm playing. I don't like all kinds of simulation games, like I'm not a flight simulator or whatever kind of person, which is fine. But apparently there's a cute one where you're running a mail, like a post office mail center place for cats. And I'm looking into that one because it looks kind of cute. And some people are really digging the game, so. And you can't go wrong with like a simulation game where you're serving kitty cats, you know? It's kind of like Froggy Brews in a way, as far as like that cute kind of art style combined with running something, so I'm gonna keep an eye. I don't have plans to get it anytime soon, but that's still just a really cute idea to me. They're probably gonna add like a lot more adorable elements to sim games, because a lot of people who play sim games love adorable elements. You know, unless you're like playing the games where you like run a restaurant or something, and at night like the zombies come in or whatever. But there's a an element for that too. I often wonder if I'm the kind of audience for that, like a run where you do the like cute little record store, cafe or whatever, and then at night you're like trying to keep the demons out or something. It would be interesting to have a cafe or something where you serve people and then you have to figure out if they're like demonically possessed, and if you're wrong, like they come back at night to be served something different, and you're like an exorcist cafe owner or something. That would be kind of cool, especially if they do it right. They probably wouldn't, but you never know. Okay, so each level in this game is about 20 minutes long, I believe. And there is 2 to 3 bosses, I think 2 mostly, with those 20 minutes. So not every boss has multiple forms. As a matter of fact, when I played this the first time for you all, I said there's probably 3 bosses. There mostly aren't. Mostly you have 2, and they mostly just have 1 form each. Though I did say that a lot of them had multiple forms. That's because I wasn't that far into the game yet to realize that most bosses in fact do not have multiple forms. So you get that clarification because I've been through the game now. Yep. Yeah, see, you have to fight the gang members, and you have to fight a bunch of people. I didn't know my last guy got killed. So much for the attention I'm paying. Maybe we should just get this guy. Oh wait, he's not gone. He's just not showing up. Better get his ass out, because he's not following me nearly as closely as this guy is. I wonder if that's because they have different types of attack. I don't know. I left a lot of money laying on that ground. You can see it back there. Money is for your upgrades and whatnot. And you can buy stuff from the wagon for that money. Instead of the tokens, you can use the money, but the money buys you like healing items and stuff more so than like mixing 2 of the upgraded weapons together and whatnot. So I know I promised you all this weekend, so I am trying to be better at keeping my promises, but I was really sick from like Wednesday on, like really bad sick. Okay, I don't have any combined weapons yet. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like the smoke or what, but I felt really poorly, and I am a carrier for strep B, and I was starting to get like worrying things in my, you know, throat, so I had to be careful. So I spent that time catching up on Tales from the Crypt, and I saw the entire series. Some of them are better than others. We must have been fascinated with certain shit in the 90s. Like, there was more than one, like, conjoined twin story, for instance. So we must have had, like, a really big fascination with those in the 90s. And they also had a lot of, like, ones where the answer turned out to be ghouls, like people that, like, ate other people. Not a lot, more than one. There were a few episodes I really, really enjoyed, because I couldn't exactly tell where everything was going. And there were like one or two, I think, that would have made really good like full-fledged movies back in like the 90s or early 2000s, especially if you look at the kind of movies that were out. So I'm talking about like Ghost Ship or the remake of like 13 Ghosts. You know, I think it would have been actually really, they would have fit in really well there. So one of my favorites is this guy who is robbing or fake robbing a store. So the person who owns the jewelry store, Blackheart, appears as I'm getting rammed by the train. Aha. Okay, so I didn't get rammed. Okay. So this guy is with his partner, and they fake rob a jewelry store at the owner's behest. So what they do is they take all the diamonds, and the guy files the insurance claim, and then they return the diamonds, and then he gets the diamonds and the insurance money, and then the two get paid. Well, they kind of sort of turn on each other, not important. And the one guy gets away with the diamonds, and he ends up at this hotel where they're like, don't worry, we're not going to tell anybody you're here, we're very discreet. And he gets in there in his room, and everything is just very like desolate feeling. It's very claustrophobic, very desolate. He's in this room where, you know, he has this big old bed, and he puts the diamond case on the bed, but he's been shot by his partner when he left. So when he was shot, he's like having these things he thinks are hallucinations. Like at one point he sees blood dripping down the walls. One of the bellmen for the night shift, he has like this cart with bloody linens on it, and then he actually sees like this hand sticking out of it, like somebody is being like, you know, taken out for disposal. I've said like 18 times by now. Oh, and poison damage received -20, shock damage. Oh, I'll take that. I haven't done that yet, so. And then there's this woman at the hotel he sees, and of course she's attractive, and he wants to get with that and whatnot. And he passes out at one point, and she brings him back into the bed, and at one point he is seeing her as like a succubus as they're having sex. One point he'll wake up from that and then see something else for it, and so he keeps having these hallucinations. And I thought, okay, this guy actually died and he's in hell, or this guy's in a coma and he's going through like all the different stages of his brain shutting down, stuff like that, you know, something really. They've even pulled the It's a Dream before, or they pulled, I don't know if it was a dream, but they have definitely pulled the this person is crazy thing that they like to do in like horror stories back in the day. And I'm not for that. I've talked about that a lot with Dark Pictures, where I'm not a fan of where you have somebody who is not well mentally, and here they're the perpetrator and not the victim, because the likelihood that somebody is severely mentally unwell, they are more likely to be taken advantage of and be hurt than hurt people. And yes, you can argue, well, what about this person? I'm saying in general, way more likely. And most of the time back then especially, we did not utilize people like that. We were always like, oh, well, obviously, since they are... Oh, damn, I don't have my tokens anymore. Damn it. I have one on the map over here I can go try to find. But yeah, not important, I guess, but I don't like using mental illness as a scapegoat. I don't think that's a great thing to do. And I know some people like unreliable narrators and all that shit. I don't. Play it to me straight or not at all, honestly. If your story is not compelling enough and twisty enough without you fucking lying to me, then you don't need to be writing the story. So anyway, the girl in the hotel, you don't really know who she is or what she wants, or I thought the hotel might be haunted, like he stepped into a haunted hotel, and that was kind of closer to the truth. But what happened was he had another job years ago with his partner who he fucked over and who tried to fuck him over, where they were at this hotel and this person hired them to find his woman, and his woman was in bed with someone else. So the guy who is shot at the hotel currently, he killed them, and she was the woman. And when he starts getting like all this bad stuff happen to him and finds out the woman's not good, he actually says to her, "What did I do to you?" And she said, "That's exactly what I asked you all those years ago." So it was basically her getting her revenge. I liked it, the way they did the hotel, the way they made you kind of second guess as to what was going on. And it was because a lot of times I can tell Tales from the Crypt episodes exactly what's gonna happen, and it gave me enough leeway to not entirely know. Yeah, it was one of the possibilities, but I was terrified they were gonna use the "this is hell" excuse, or they're dead or in a coma, or it's just the hallucination brought on by the fever. So that was actually good for me because it gave me enough possibility and leeway to think about things differently. And then there was another one where they had this machine where you could hear the dead, and this researcher and his woman, who's like his assistant or something, are looking into this guy who was a serial killer but a mentalist. And I'm like, why the hell would you want to tap into a serial killer for anything? There isn't anybody in the world that would have good brain power besides this one douchebag. But anyway, he killed a lot of people, and as they're doing the experiment, the guy finds out that the girl sent in for his experiments, and he didn't read the letter properly, so he thought she had sent in his experiments under her name. And it turns out she did it for him so that they could get the like stuff. Wait, I can do the Kevlar vest as an upgrade for something? That is so weird. That is so fucking weird. I've never seen that. Okay, anyway, we can put these two together and I can get a hammer. Very nice. Not everything mixes with everything, so you kind of have to be a little more observant than I was there, but... So, because he saw that she had put in for the experiments but not read it all the way, because why would somebody want to read anything all the way, he actually turned up the machine to hear the dead person's thoughts on her head, and it actually fucking killed her. And the reason why I think this would have made a good movie is because back in the day, they had movies with like certain types of scenes where like the bad guy was like twitchy and glitchy and everything like that, and it just would have fit in so well with what they had back in the day, because he tries to get her back and he gets her back, but the serial killer also came back through, and she kind of belongs, quote unquote, to the serial killer now because she was linked in his head. And she's like, you got to turn off the machine that's like keeping me with you, because if you don't, he's just gonna stay here and get his body back and cause havoc. And the guy's like, I can't lose you. And I'm thinking to myself, but you sure were okay with it when you saw that you thought she fucked you over. And I get that kind of knee-jerk reaction, but I'm just like, I would have let myself process it a little bit first. But you know, they're young, and young people are oftentimes impulsive. So young is in like their 20s, early 30s. You gotta remember I'm an old turtle, okay? So the fact that they had to do that, and the way they made the bad guy like glitch around, and the ending was actually kind of in a way bittersweet. And I'm not gonna like spoil that one entirely, but it basically gives you the hint that the guy and the girl are together. But I don't know if they're still like trying to outrun the like psychotic person, or I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it was actually a good, if it would have been like an hour or so where they could have like drawn it out like more and fleshed out the characters and the motivations, I think it would have been like a hell of a movie back in the day. I really do. And now those two are like some of my favorites, and I had a third favorite. Also, another thing that they did that I don't like was back in the day they used not just like twins or conjoined twins as a gotcha moment more than once. I think it was at least 3 times in 7 seasons. They also used like a man like changing into a woman, either because they were trans or because they had to like hide out from like spies or whatever more than once. And I don't like the gotcha being like, oh, the woman was really a man at one point. I don't like that at all. And I know different times, yada 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 yada, but I'm still not a big fan of that at all. Because they're like, oh, nobody will be looking for a woman, blah 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 blah. But it just doesn't sit right with me. So they often used what I guess, and I just offed myself with the train. I'm going to bring myself back. I bought an extra revive, but I also have one on deck every time I play because it's an upgrade, so that'll be fine. Serves me right for not paying attention, eh? I'm getting overrun, that doesn't help. And yes, you can still die even when you have all this stuff because, well, look at how many enemies are on screen. You know, it's not something you can just like randomly get through always. Oof. Oh, no, don't. I'm gonna try to wiggle my sweet ass out of here, but okay, I'm gonna try to see if we can combine again. There we go. Spiked boots. Honestly, it's not my favorite as a upgraded weapon, but as an upgraded weapon, but it'll work out, hopefully. Oh boy, stuck against a damn wall. Okay, Blackheart is back as the big enemy here. I wish I could like find the passageway down from here, but if you stay close to the cars, you can have an upgrade that they always have at least one weapon, or one healing item. So you can get that going as well. Yeah, we can kill Blackheart. Blackheart is having a time apparently. He's like pretty much stuck. Blackheart, buddy, you're supposed to move farther than this, longer than this. You all right here, dude? You're not supposed to just stand there and take it. Yeah, you're not supposed. Yeah, okay. This is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm not. God. He's supposed to like fly around and attack me though. I've never had him glitch like this, but I guess it's a good thing I'm recording it so that you know it's possible that he can do this. But yeah, it's not, I didn't glitch him out, I don't think. They're supposed to be able to like find you and stuff. Maybe I did, I have no idea. And see, you collect parts and you need those parts to upgrade stuff at your base. Because eventually what you're trying to do is get parts from bosses to have a helicopter built to kind of take you away from this. And take you to more dangerous parts at first. Alright, we're turning to base. That was level 2. If you want me to show you level 3, just comment below. Let me know on stream. Find me on Blue Sky. You know the drill. Thank you so much for watching, Shelpers. I appreciate it. Until the next one. Bye.